Day 5 of the World Aquatics Championships, and Summer McIntosh now has 3 out of her 5 gold medals. David Popovici does the 100 metres and 200 metres free double, and there's an all-Texas podium in the 200 metres individual medley. Lots to discuss from tonight's racing, so let's dive straight into the action. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Propulsion Swimming Podcast. Day 5 of our daily review episodes of this World Championships, and we've got the big hitters in the water yet again. Summer McIntosh in the 200 metres butterfly hits an outstanding time. Marchand backs up his world record from yesterday to secure gold in the 200 metres individual medley. And there's some fireworks in the 100 metres free final. Like we said, there were in the semi-finals, and we're going to discuss all tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we'll start with the 200 fly, and I've never seen someone so disappointed to win the final by 3 seconds, come away as world champion, and I don't think you have to be exceptional at lip reading to see what Summer McIntosh thought of that swim. But yeah, I've never seen someone so annoyed. But the whole entire camp of Summer, that obviously that was the main aim, to hit that world record, and she's missed it by what, 0.2, 0.3, agonisingly close. But yeah, it was her race from the get-go.
Now, before we get into that race and discussing all of the races of tonight, I do want to let you guys know that the Propulsion Swimming Podcast is brought in partnership with One Flow Aquatics out in Summer Bay, the newest warm weather training camp destination on the Red Sea in Egypt. And if you want to book your next training camp now, you can do so following the link in the show notes of this podcast. Dan, you said it there. The women's 200 metres butterfly, Summer McIntosh, goes a 2:01.99. As soon as I saw that clock hit a 2:01, I kind of thought she'd be happy, but you've gone a 2:01.9 and you're just off this monumental world record mark. I have no doubt that it will come in the future. I think this is now on borrowed time. I'm still quite amazed by how annoyed she is, but I get it. I do get it.
Well, there were clips of the coaches, wasn't there? One was absolutely ecstatic, probably to see a 2:01, and
then
the other coach
her
like,
actual coach Fred was really.
Yeah,
you didn't even need to lip
almost.
read. You didn't even need to lip read for what he said. You heard it on the mics.
Yeah, outstanding swim. I mean, it's almost like her stroke is so efficient. She almost it didn't look like she changed anything throughout the entire race, and then just left the field because of how good she is technically and pace-wise. Obviously amazing. I suppose the question is, she wants to break the world record, obviously. What has she got to do to try and get that world record? Do you reckon she needs to take it out harder? Because the back-end speed, to me, it seems to be kind of about right.
Yeah, if you listen to Summer in the interview afterwards, she said she messed up her last 15 metres, which, do you know what? Watching it from afar, I didn't quite get, because the spot on the wall was really good, but maybe she just didn't feel like, or maybe she ended the race feeling like she hadn't left everything in the pool. I kind of doubt that as well.
Yeah.
Because 2:01.9, you do leave everything in the pool. To me, the last 50, the last 100 looked really good. I don't know if it's the second 50 where she needs to push on, or maybe even the first 50 a little bit more, because the first 50, the field's still just about with her.
Yeah.
Albeit she's not racing the field, she's racing the clock. And she turned in a 58.4, which is over world record pace. And then she gets under it on the third 50. So she does the right thing. She pushes on in the third 50. So maybe it is, you're right, the front end speed of just going out that tiny bit quicker and knowing that she's got the endurance. She swims an 800 meters freestyle. She swims a 400 meters individual medley. She swims a 2:01, 200 meters butterfly.
I suppose that's the problem, because if you were to take out that first 50, does that then affect the back end speed? Is that a detriment, you know? So it's a bit of a juggling act, but I would be ecstatic. 2:01.
Yeah, no, she was head in her hands. She was head down during the interview on poolside as well. But like, I get it. I do. Like, if you're that close to a world records that stood for that long, and maybe she thinks, look, this is my best shot at it.
Yeah, I think that was. I think this race and I think the 800 free as well are two big events. Yeah. They're her main focus, I suppose. In her head, she's kind of failed the first one, even though she's absolutely smashed it.
I don't.
But I would.
Failures are harsh.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. I just think immediately after the race, she's going to think, "Oh, I haven't done it." Whereas I think that's an outstanding swim. The 800 free, obviously, I think the aim is just to try and beat Ledecky. who we'll get to this. I mean, she just went at 1:53 in the relay, so she's got the speed and she's got the pace of the 1500. So it's still a 50-50 for me, but we'll get to that later on in the meet.
Maybe the answer for how she breaks this 2-fly world record comes next season when she moves to Bob Bowman. Maybe that's the answer. No, not taking anything away from her coach right now, Fred Vernou, who's been doing a fantastic job with her over in France. But Bowman's the whisperer on 200 meters fly, on world record swims, on monster swims, like what he's done with Leon Marchand in the past 24 months, what he did with Phelps over Phelps' career, and how that 2-fly world record took off. She's still young. She's still really, really young. I think they said on comms in like 2036 for the Olympics. It hasn't even been announced yet.
Yeah.
She's going to be 29.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking world records for a very, very long time with Summer McIntosh. And do you know what? I was thinking about this. If she backs up this program at an Olympic Games and gets 5 individual golds, you're matching Phelps' individual tally. At an Olympic Games, because I know Phelps had then the depth of the American relays to fall back on to get to his 8, and Summer may not have that when it comes to the Olympic Games. But if she's matching what Phelps did individually at an Olympic Games, it's got to go down as some of like the all-time great performances.
Now, assuming, of course, she does get to the age of 29 and she's still competing, then she's got a great chance of matching Phelps, I suppose. Individually, absolutely. I mean, she can come away with this from this meet with 5 goals, and it seems as though that looks relatively likely, with the only asterisk being that 800, I guess. Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to the Bob Bowman change, because we'll talk about the 200 IM next, but the whole podium was Bowman. And you can only imagine what the improvements on the underwaters, the turns, all of those sort of intricate stuff, as well as the endurance and everything that comes with it. Scary. Yeah, I think that the world record is in borrowed time, which is mad to say, because I thought this was an unbreakable record. It's going. I just don't know when. Maybe even next year. So, only 18 years old. So she's only going to get better, stronger, and she's going to the best coach of all time, probably.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think really that's up for debate.
It doesn't seem so. Yeah.
The podium behind Summer McIntosh, she won by 3 seconds ahead of Regan Smith, who finishes in a 2:04.99, which is a fantastic time, by the way.
It is.
That used to win
in
this event quite comfortably. Elizabeth Decker's in bronze in 2:06.12. I think she paid for following Summer's third 50. I think she did kind of pace it a little bit like Summer and dropped off a little bit towards the end. And then the 12-year-old Uzidi in a 2:06.43 comes in 4th. And she actually picks up a medal later on in this session, being part of the team in the relay for Chinese women.
A 12-year-old going 2:06.
Maybe she's one to keep an eye on.
What? 2:06 for a 12-year-old is absolutely mental.
It is. It is.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she'll join Summer in attempting for this world record later on down the line. But, like 3 years' time, she's only going to be 15. Absolutely mental. But,
Men's 200 meters individual medley then. We teased it at the top. Dan, you teased it then. An all-Texas podium, albeit 3 different nationalities. So Leon Marchand takes a win in a 1:53.68, which, by the way, would have been beneath Ryan Lochte's old world record. Had that have still been standing, but Leon did magical things last night. I didn't think the world record would get broken again. We went through the splits yesterday, and those splits were nigh on perfect. Bar maybe how he finished the freestyle, but even that was a tough ask. And then he's backed up with Shane Casas, who goes a 1:54.3, I think. And then Hubert Koss for Hungary gets the bronze in a 1:55.3. This podium is Texas born and bred, all Bob Bowman. He's going to be ecstatic. Us Brits are heartbroken that Duncan didn't make the podium. The time Duncan swam, I don't think he'll be overly happy with, a 1:56.3, but he raced the race. I think he tried to go with these fast swimmers and paid the price a tiny bit. But even Duncan's PB would have been right on Koss's shoulder, maybe just ahead of him. So he would have had to swim a lifetime best to get onto this podium.
Yeah. Mad race, really. Even though Marchand is probably going to take all the plaudits, as he should do. But my eyes were on Casas.
I thought he had him. I genuinely thought he was getting there.
I mean, the time you just said, 1:54.3, that's only 0.3 off Ryan Lochte's time. Only 0.1 off what Phelps ever did. You think, wow, that really was a staggering swim. And he took it out really quickly yesterday in the semi, didn't he? 23.8, I believe he did in the semi-final yesterday. He went out a little bit slower, 24.0, I think.
Yeah, we thought he might hold back slightly.
Slightly, but only
worked.
just.
It worked.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I mean, the backstroke was amazing. Koss was obviously right up there as well because he is a front-end IM swimmer, even though the back legs were pretty good as well. But yeah, Casas was the one for me. I wonder if he can actually pose a problem to Marchand later on down the line, just because this flying back is so strong, and whether the breaststroke will improve, because Marchand is an outstanding breaststroker.
He was there with him, though.
He was
there.
But I don't know if he was pushing that to try and stay with him, and then...
He paid for it at the back.
That's just it, yeah. So you're trying to compete with Marchand on the breaststroke is really difficult. So you either got to go out really hard, which I assume was the tactic, clearly, but you've got to be ahead of him on the backstroke split, which is also very difficult because Marchand is very good at those events, at strokes as well.
I wonder if he beats him just by in the future. I'm saying this is highly hypothetical because Leon Marchand does look unbeatable. But if Leon's schedule at a Games or at World Champs is just nuts because he goes after other events because he can, and suddenly Casas only has the 200 meters individual medley and capitalizes on a tired Marchand, I think that's the only possible way for me, because they're training in the same squad. He's going to have eyes on what he's doing day in, day out. I would have thought they're on slightly different programs because Casas is backstroke IM, Leon Marchand is breaststroke butterfly IM. There's so many different things to his bow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually glad it was a race.
Yeah.
Like, this could have been an absolute
procession,
and the world record may not have fallen, and it just took away the drama. But Hubert Koss went with them on the fly. On the backstroke, Hubert Koss pressed on and kind of gave them a run for the money. And then on the breaststroke, we actually had Casas on Leon Marchand's shoulder as well. Yeah. So as much as like he is the great man in swimming right now, it's good he's getting a race. Like, it's not all gonna be his own way.
Yeah, well, I was watching that final, and I'm kind of watching his last turn because his last turns are amazing, Marchand. And it was the underwater shot, and I don't know if he had a little sneaky look at where Casas was, because I think he was very much aware that he was actually still with him, and so, and I don't know if he knew that the world record was slightly off, and he's off the world record for the whole race, wasn't he? So I think ultimately he just wants to get the win in the end, which was really interesting. So he knows when he's on pace, and then just does enough to win, I suppose. Heartbreaking for me, because I thought Duncan might win, but he actually misses out on podiums in the end. 156,
very
like you
fast
say.
Podium, though.
Yeah, it almost looks like he got left behind on the fly. But of course, you're dealing with Marchand, who's a flyer. You're dealing with Casas, who's extremely strong. Koss is extremely good on the fly. So it looks like he got completely decimated on the
I'm
first
not sure he did.
leg, but I don't think he did either. I'm trying to look. I kind of ignored those three, and then looked at the rest of the field, and he's there. But it's just those guys push the fly so strong because that's one of their strengths. But yeah, tough lane because he kind of got washed a little bit in that, so maybe that was a factor. But yeah, kind of a shame, and I think he will be relatively disappointed just to not see a 55, I think. Yeah, shame, but it is what it is. Amazing race. It's what it needed.
Britwatch, I think me and Dan are feeling a bit flat because medals haven't come yet for the Brits. I know they've really spread across every nation right now. I think they've said like every gold medal or most of the gold medals individually have gone to different nations so far in this meet. But I'm trying to think when that next chance comes for British swimming, and I think it's the 4x2, which I think is on tomorrow's programme. We'll see what Luke can do in the 200 metres backstroke. Maybe Ang Harrod Evans. We'll get to it later on in this podcast and maybe discuss those chances a little bit more. Men's 100 metres freestyle then. David Popovici, second fastest swim of all time. A 46.51 to win by a mile.
Yeah, it was in the end.
One of the fastest 100 free fields ever. Like, he's got 0.4 on Jack Alexei, who goes sub 47 again. He backed up his heat swim. Let's talk about this then, because I think Popovici swam this nigh on perfectly, and he said in the interview afterwards, what he's been targeting, what he's been attacking is underwaters.
Yeah. It surprised me because it looks like he's been practicing a lot of back end stuff, because again, he went a 24.0 on his back end 50.
But your underwaters
But it does
are a big
help.
part of that.
Yeah, it kind of builds you into that final 50, doesn't it? or the start off the dive, obviously. So yes, he's definitely been working on that, because before he wasn't utilising it properly, or he wasn't quite as strong. But again, he calls himself a skinny legend. He is now less skinny, but he's definitely building on his frame, which of course is then it's all core. So he's definitely improving on that. But there's no one who can match his back end speed, and the stroke rate is absolutely insane. So the body position is really high because of that, and the back end speed, it's just incredible to see and watch. I suppose if you're trying to find another couple of tenths or hundredths, it's probably going to be the front end, but then it might be a problem in the second half of the 50, obviously, which is where the strength is. So yeah, I kind of foresaw that he was going to win because he was the favourite going in, but to go a 46.5, which is not a million miles away from that world record now.
Really not far away.
Blimey. Like when Pan broke that world record, everyone's like, what? Like, he's miles ahead of
certain people who are no longer in the sport and who are working for drug enhancement company literally said physically impossible, and Popovici has gone within 0.1, which is a fingernail.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, stunning.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning. He's moved it. He moved it on as well from the LEN or the European Aquatics under 23. Sorry, the rebrand has really caught us out on that one. The times that he swam there in both the 100 and the 200 were insane. And we're both looking at each other just going, 4 weeks out from Worlds, he's doing that. Kind of the pressure was maybe more on him because of those swims, because you're going, well, you've got to go faster now. You can't swim that 4 weeks out and then not perform at Worlds. And a little bit like Peter Kurtzy in the backstroke events. He swam at the World University Games and went sub 52 there.
Yep.
And these swimmers who have swam recently into Worlds are race sharp, and they've moved it on another gear. It's not like it's affected their taper. It's not like it's affected anything else.
There is an argument for
super
it.
impressive few weeks.
Yeah,
I think there is, because trials, like heading into Olympic trials here in Britain, everyone goes up to Edinburgh, swims a month out. Worlds, your last race is Seti Collie for Brits,
for some,
which is end of June. You're kind of there or thereabouts, aren't you?
Yeah, maybe just over a month away.
Yeah,
but I'm a fan of this race sharpness, if you like. Where, like, ISL is a great example with Caleb Dressel, what he did.
Or the World Cup Series.
Yeah, all that, exactly, yeah. So you're racing every weekend, and actually these guys are getting quicker and quicker because they're fixing the mistakes almost straight away. And so I think people like Peter Kurtzy or Popovici are actually benefiting off that. So I wonder if coaches, somewhere down the line, it's easy for me to say as a sofa expert here, but maybe these coaches are looking on that and thinking, actually, maybe we should do that. 3, 4, 5 weeks
they do stand-ups in
out.
training and stuff like that,
yeah,
don't
they do, yeah.
But
it's a different thing. It's a bit like boxing. Like, you can spar as much as you want, but actually doing the fight itself is a very different thing. So, yeah, I wonder if that's part of it. But, yeah, Popovici does the double. Is anyone going to beat him? It's a shame Pan wasn't in the final, but he didn't look himself. So, really, it's a 2-horse race for that world record, I suppose, because Popovici is now in the hunt for that world record, potentially.
With who else?
With Pan, I suppose, because he's the one with the record.
He is the world record holder.
Yeah,
sure. I'm just looking at this field, just going. I mean, Jack Alexi was great. He left himself a little bit too much to do with a poor start and a slower first 50 than I really expected him to do.
And that's his strength.
I think he needs to go out hard.
Yeah.
Chalmers swam it how we expected Chalmers to swim. Actually, I think he swam really quite well. And it's weird to see a swimmer swim away from Chalmers.
Yes, I was about to say
that's 15 meters. It's hard to watch.
It's bizarre, isn't it? Like, Chalmers has just been Chalmersed. You know, like, he's the one that's supposed to come back at you, and Popovici just leaves them. It's amazing. It is amazing to watch, and I'd love to know what he does in training to be able to accomplish that. The strength on each of his pull at the moment. So he's definitely just been going in a gym. Like, he's getting stronger and stronger. The stroke lengths are better. The improvement of water, like you were saying. Things are working for him right now. Things should not be changing what he's doing in training.
Brit watching this one, Matt Richards finishes down in 8th in a 47.7, which is still a really good time. This is, like we said, one of the fastest 100 meters free fields going. Maybe he would have liked to back up his semi-final swim, but he was next to Chalmers, and Chalmers took it out hard. He took it out harder than I think he normally would. And Matt really is a back-end swimmer in the 100 meters freestyle. And a lot, if not all of this race, bar Matt, took out that first 50 fast, really fast. Left Matt with quite a lot to do in the last 50.
I think he should be relatively happy. 47.7. Like, back in the day, that would have been a final. Maybe even top, maybe even a podium, actually, believe it or not. But things have moved on. I still would like Matt for the 200. I see him as a 200 swimmer more than the 100, even though I think he would disagree with me. But I see him as a 200 just because the pacing that he has is better suited. For me. But I don't know.
Because he's the former 200 free world champion. But if you look on PB, where the whole world is, and where Matt's is, I kind of get that the 100 is maybe the target.
Yeah. What PB was?
No, the target will be both. Let's be honest, it's not going to be one or the other.
Oh, he's going to do what Popovici does and swim both. Obviously,
yeah.
I personally think he's better at the 2 than he is the 4, the 1. But I can actually see what you're saying. Actually, a 47.4, I think, is
47
record. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. So maybe that is both are targets, like you say.
Women's 50 metres backstroke then. This run really was a splash and dash, and the fastest in the world this season, Catherine Burkhoff, gets the win at a 27.0. Maybe a little surprised that we didn't see a sub 27 swim in this, but this was, for me, one off the start, like it has been in a few of these 50 metre events. She was phenomenal. That's where Lauren Cox got left slightly in the first 15 metres. She was always fighting her way back through the field after that, which I mean, it's weird because when she races in Britain, I think she's got one of the best and one of the cleanest backstroke starts in the whole country. Lauren swam a 27.3 to come 5th. It's actually only 3/10 off a gold medal, and going into the last 5 metres, she was the one kind of racing towards the wall, ploughing through the field. And I hope this is a big confidence builder because she's had the medal in the 50 before, and then the Olympic year came where it was only the 100 backstroke, and it kind of stalled her progress. Now the 50 is, do you know what? I hope in this country taken deadly seriously because she is a genuine Olympic medal threat in this event. And she will be for whenever she's swimming it now. And I hope maybe the commentators listening don't say it's a surprise that she's in the final in the middle lanes, because for me it was never a surprise.
No,
it was never a surprise. We've seen what she can do in Britain this year in the 50 back. We've been seeing for years. She's just never got the chance to race it internationally. Yeah,
I would arguably say, and this is where I think she'll watch that race back and take a lot of confidence from it, because I think the swim speed in that whole field, Lauren was the fastest. The only thing that was the problem, if you like, if you want to call it that, is at the start she just got left behind. But the American underwaters are second to none, let's face it.
Hard when you're next to Burkhoff and you see what Burkhoff does.
It's really difficult. It is, to be fair. And if she had the same start as the Americans, Regan Smith or Catherine Burkhoff, then she would have won that. She was coming back at the field. She was like quarter bod length behind after 15 metres. And that's a long way to make up after a 50, obviously. So she got that. If she got that same start as the Americans, then I think she could have easily won this race. So I think she could take a lot away from it. Yeah,
she's only 23. She's got time in this event, and this is now an event that will be taken seriously. I know it will. And she's got a chance to shine in it. Women's 4x200 meters freestyle relay, then it was kind of a foregone conclusion in my eyes. The podium that we saw, Australia, America, China, the order of the top two was up for debate, and I think maybe the American illness got the better of them, because Erin Gemmell in the third leg of the American relay team, I think she's really been struggling with that illness, especially with her individual swims. She was like 2 minutes in the 200 free final yesterday. It's kind of where the difference was made for me, with Australia's Castelluzzo coming through and giving Molly O'Callaghan the lead at the final leg. Now, don't get me wrong, Katie Ledecky for America at the final leg of their relay was phenomenal.
Yeah, she was.
In a 1:53.71. But when you've got Molly O'Callaghan for Australia, you need to be giving Ledecky a lead.
Oh, you have to.
As great as Ledecky is, you have to be giving her a lead. And from that third, America was so close to getting a full body length away from Australia until the final 50 of that third leg.
Yep.
And that's where you knew, well, Australia have this wrapped up.
Yeah, you can't give Molly a lead. I mean, she's world champion for a reason. She was former world record holder for a reason. So if you give her any sort of lead, she's going to go and win it. As great as Ledecky is, she isn't a 200-metre swimmer, even though a 153 is pretty good and would have actually probably caught up anyone else in the world, arguably. But Pallister actually swam pretty well as well.
Really well. 154.77, which actually was under this relay world record split. So they've got some pieces in this relay for the future, Australia.
Yeah.
We thought this was a transition year for them in terms of women's freestyle relays. Maybe not this one. I think we still considered this one as their strong gold possibility. But they've come out and they've got both of them at this World Championships, and building year or not, they are still the ones to beat.
Yeah, and that's without Titmus as well. So you've got another 152 to add in there. So, this is the relay that I don't think they're going to get beaten on. If they are going to get beaten in a relay, it will probably be the 4x1, just because America have decent depth. But like you say, yeah, Australia will always be favourites. Molly O'Callaghan is obviously too good at the moment. The turns that she's got, she's ripping people apart.
So good.
It's far too good. And then it's almost like a slingshot. She does the final turn, a bit like what Marchand does actually. Does the final underwaters to 15 or however far she goes, and it just plows into the stroke and she's away.
It's part of this back end speed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Part of the back end speed is that last 15.
It is. The last turn. It's incredible.
Phenomenal. Brits in this one finished down in 5th. The team of Freya Colbert, Freya Anderson, Abby Wood, Leah Slosson. Freya Colbert went out in a 157.05. Freya Anderson at a 158.3. Abby Wood a 157.7. And Leah Slosson a 158.6. I think even if all of them had hit personal bests, you're going to be struggling to match the Chinese podium, which all of those swimmers was sub 157, and a lot of them sub 156 and 155.
You read out all those times, and actually those times I think are pretty decent, if I'm honest, especially where they were a year, 2, 3 ago. So we're getting there. We are, and especially with like swimmers like Leah Slosson coming through. So we've got some youth coming through too. So it might take a while to get this team up and rolling, but I think we're going in the right direction. I do, especially with Freya hitting a British record the other day as well. So we've got our sort of leading light, if you like, and then the other swimmers to come through to try and back that up. So it's going in the right direction, just takes a bit of time.
Okay, that just about rounds up the finals from day 5 of the World Aquatics Championships. We're going to take a quick ad break, and when we come back, we'll be discussing the semi-finals, which included British hopes in the 200 metres breaststroke and 200 metres backstroke. Okay, I just want to let you guys know that the Propulsion Swimming Podcast is brought in partnership with One Flow Aquatics out in Summer Bay, the newest training destination on the Red Sea in Egypt. Perfect for your warm weather training camps, a 50-metre pool, a 25-metre pool, indoor-outdoor gym, new hotels, and plenty of extracurricular activities available. And if you're interested in booking your next training camp, you can do so by following the link in the show notes of this podcast. And let's kick off the semi-final swims with the women's 100 metres freestyle. For me, this is a 2-horse race with Molly O'Callaghan and Merit Steenbergen, both who have looked really, really strong this World Championship so far. For me, actually, Steenbergen's looked the stronger, given some of her relay swims. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. She's been really impressive all year for me. I've seen her at the Edinburgh International. Yeah. We've seen her at the AP Race London International as well, and she's been cranking out 52s for fun in season.
Yep.
I think she is a genuine threat for O'Callaghan, even if O'Callaghan's last 50 metres is good. Like, her last 50 metres is going to be good.
I think you'd be mad to say that this O'Callaghan's got this sewn up, because I think Steenbergen actually swam this semi-final identically to what Molly O'Callaghan did. The turn was amazing, the underwaters were good, and then because of that, slingshotted into a strong final 50 to come away with wins in their respected semi-finals. I suppose the other swimmer to probably name is Husk, because she almost does the opposite, because she'll go out strong, and in this case of holding on. And the first 50 does look good, but I just think the back-end speed of Molly O'Callaghan and Steenbergen might be too much for her. So I'm going to go with your assumption as a 2-horse race. But I'm going to half disagree that Steenbergen is the one swimming better than Molly O'Callaghan. They're both the same. I've seen O'Callaghan race more this meet, I suppose, in the 200, obviously, and in the relays as well, where she's done the job for Team Australia. It's going to be a good one, actually. It's a bit of a battle of who can come back the best. And based on that, you'd have to go with Molly O'Callaghan. But Steenbergen can very much turn the tide in her way.
Yeah, we're robbed of a few names in this one, because Gretchen Walsh, like we said earlier on in this meet, she does pull out of the 100 metres freestyle. She does reduce her programme down a little bit. And Tori Husk, for me, just doesn't quite look like the Tori Husk that we know and know what she's capable of. She's not been 100%. We've heard that from commentary. But I would say for me, Tori Hoskell looks very good for the 50. Like the way she's been swimming this meet, she has been going out like an absolute rocket. So the 50 with no Sjostrom, there's a strong chance in that, but we'll get to that later on in the meet.
Yeah.
Brits in this one, we had Freya Anderson make it to the semi-finals. Eva Akaro missed out after a morning heat swim. The world is 52 seconds, 53 seconds for 100 meters freestyle. There's a little drop to be made to get down to that as Brits right now.
Yes, kind of a shame that Eva missed the semi-finals, and Freya, I suppose, arguably lucky that she did get through. Put in a good showing in lane 8, mind you. She actually did swim quite well, but like you say, we're dealing with swimmers that are going 52s here, which is another step beyond, I suppose. At the moment, I mean, Eva's extremely young still. Freya's actually still very young still, so more in a tank, even though I think Freya's better suited at 200. But yeah, tomorrow's final is going to be a good one.
Really good one. Women's 200 meters breaststroke. This is another race for me, which is a 2-horse race. Kate Douglas, Chikanova looked incredibly strong and smooth in their semi-finals. I don't think we're going to get a world record, even though
like the comms said.
They were getting so excited. But the world record's a 2:17.
Yeah,
that is 3 seconds faster than Douglas and Chikanova were going in the semi-finals, which is very fast.
Yeah.
If we do, hands up. Fantastic swim. Douglas did look to be testing her early speed in this one and then kind of switched off. But behind these two, there is really going to be a dogfight for third, and Angharad Evans, thankfully after the 100, is in amongst it. She's absolutely in amongst it.
Yeah, I thought she had a really good swim, a 2:23, and obviously capable of going 21. So I think she was actually saving something, just enough.
She made sure she was finishing second.
Yes, for smart swimming, smart semi-final swimming. So she's on the shoulder before Douglas kind of left her in the end. But did enough to get the second or third. I think you're playing with fire of third at the moment if you're in a first semi-final. So make sure you're top two. So yeah, 2:23 is good, but there's a whole host of swimmers that can easily get this bronze medal. So she's in a bit of a dogfight. But looking at the gold medal, I don't know actually who's going to win. I suppose Chukanova is the world record holder, so you probably maybe favour her. But Douglas has been doing well, like 100 earlier in the meet. It was actually pretty impressive. So yeah, it might be a bit of a tactical race, because Douglas, I think, will go out quicker than Chukanova, but then Chukanova will come back quicker, I think. So yeah,
Chukanova equal split that world record or something like that.
It was something ridiculous.
Crazy.
Yeah, she hasn't gone anywhere near that recently, as far as I remember. She's gone 2:19 or something like that, which is still
good. 2:19. I think might be around about the winning time for this.
Oh, definitely so, but still 2 seconds off the world record. I think the commentators got a little bit ahead of themselves, especially after what Marchand did. So they're just like, oh, well, world record can happen in every race. I'm like, well, maybe not this one, but maybe some other ones, sure.
Men's 200 meters breaststroke. This was a weird set of semi-finals for me because Qing Haiyang, who I thought was solid, not favourite, podium threat in this, only just makes it through, and he's in lane 8, so no one's going to see him. It's kind of a dangerous space.
It is.
Britwatch Greg Butler was kind of right on the shoulder of Chin, and you're kind of looking at it just going, oh, he's done really well.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's the first semi-final. Oh, no, the second semi-final was quite fast.
Yeah, classic problem, because actually you look at that.
I thought it was good swim by Greg.
So did I. I thought like, oh, this is actually a good sort of. He's made the final here. Surely you're on the shoulder of Chin. The second semi-final arguably isn't as strong, apart from your sort of one hits every now and then. But yeah, finishing fourth is again playing with fire at this level. And
tell you what, the semi-finals at this meet have been fast. Like to qualify for finals for me has been faster than we've seen at previous.
I think so as well. Yeah, I think the coaches have now told these swimmers you can't hang around anymore. You're going to have to put in some sort of decent shift. Otherwise, you might get pinged out of these finals. And Chin was playing with fire there. Whether he's got more in the tank, I'm not sure. But based on his hundreds, like he's going 58s, and he split a 101, I think, on his first 100. So that's comfortable for him. He just didn't push the back end as hard as he could. So maybe there's more left in the tank. But a lane 8 is scary. And these swimmers aren't really going to see him. So...
No.
But maybe, I don't know who the favourite is. Is it the Japanese swimmer, Wanatabe?
I mean, Japanese breaststroke has been swimming really well, but neither of these are the standout Japanese names that we've seen over the 16-year-old Japanese swimmers.
Yeah,
hitting some stupidly fast.
The technique of Japanese breaststroke is
really
just awesome. They do something right over there. They do.
Kitajima, isn't it? It's
exactly.
The legacy from Kenzuki Kitajima.
Stemmed from him for sure, yeah.
Talking of fast semi-final events, the men's 200 meters backstroke was rapid.
Ridiculous.
So a 1:55.64 to make the final. I say that again. Years ago, that would have been to make the podium. I think Tokyo Olympics, that would have made the podium.
Maybe, yeah. Can't remember now, but
got
not
bronze.
far away.
It was there or thereabouts. Luke Greenbank safely through, just about, in 8th place. He is that cut-off time of a 1:55.64. He had a really good heat swim. Great to see him bounce back from disappointment in Paris. He looked really strong in the heats as well.
He did.
But this was an outside burner semi-final. Pizza Curtsy left nothing for chance and in a 1:54.22, backing up his 100-meter swims, and actually looked really, really good.
Yeah. African record.
Undo Brouard. Yeah, Undo Brouard in the outside lane of the second semi-final at 1:54.47. I think both of them are going to have to deal with Hubert Koss tomorrow, because Koss backed up a 200 meters individual medley final where he got a bronze, very, very fast time, swam a 200 back straight after that, like 20, 30 minutes later, and still went a 1:54.6. I think he's the class.
Yes.
Who can put pressure on him? Well, the whole field, because the whole field's split by 1.4, and men's backstroke is in a purple patch.
It's unbelievable. I looked at Luke's swim, 1:55.6, like, okay, that's good for a final. And then you look at the second semi-final, you think, whoa. These guys are absolutely going really quick. I suppose you can say lucky, or it's just the way the event is at the moment. But Luke scrapes in, so he's got a lane, thank goodness for that. And then you just got to get out there. I mean, he's going to be in lane 8, so maybe that'll be an advantage. We said how it might help Chin with the 200 breaststroke
maybe
tomorrow, so maybe that'll help Luke. But I agree. I think Koss is the one to beat. He's the favourite, Olympic champion, all the rest of it. But there are other swimmers who are testing boundaries here. That African record from Curtsy, the French swimmer Brouard is doing incredible stuff. Would it surprise me if there's like 2, maybe 3, top 3 go a 1:53 or better? It wouldn't surprise me. And this is where backstroke is right now. The 100 is much the same, but men's backstroke is absolutely flying.
Yeah, it's mad. Like, really, really good. Okay, and that rounds up day 5 of the World Aquatic Swimming Championships review from Propulsion Swimming. I hope everyone's been enjoying these daily episodes as they've been coming out through the rest of the week. I'm actually off to a swimming meet tomorrow and Saturday. Really excited to get poolside and film some swimming, which will go up on our Instagram channels and actually in collaboration with someone as well, which is really, really exciting. We will still be putting episodes out. You might just need to bear with us of upload times and stuff like that, because I'm going to have to work around sessions and figure out when recording is going to take place. But we'll still be talking swimming. Don't you worry about that as the week goes on. So make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And me and Dan will see you guys in 24 hours.
Yeah, thank you for listening, everyone, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Propulsion Swimming Podcast with Scott and Dan. We want to thank you for joining us and invite you to subscribe to the show, as well as checking out the Propulsion Swimming YouTube channel for weekly tutorials and videos to get your swimming fix. We will be back next week. Until then, we'll catch you on the next one.